All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. It was a wild start to the week. Everything was looking good in the morning despite the attacks. But by the end of the day, war would not leave the stock market alone, and the global tensions once again weighed on the market. So we got a lot to talk about. We have a very interesting day set up, but how we played out today, I don't know if you guys were familiar, but last week, that was the first two back-to-back red weeks in the last 6 months, and now today, we close below the 50-day moving average. That has been the first time in the last 5 months. So the market is dealing with this volatility. We broke below 5,200 on the SPX today, and now we still got more earnings on the way, and the market is expecting a lot. So Chad, we got a lot to talk about. I have a breakdown of today, what we are looking for over the next couple of days, the plays we made, and then the plays for the rest of the week. What I need from you, a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/thestockmarket. We will see you there in the morning. Run it, baby.
Walking to the couch, it's the 2020 election. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, off the bat, before we get into the keys, I'm telling you, today was pretty wild and easy to digest, even though the market went crazy. We started off with the gap up, like we were talking about on the watch list yesterday. Although there was the attack, oil didn't go crazy, gold didn't go crazy, and people generally were like, okay, now that we got the attack out of the way, it can lead towards de-escalation. That's how we started off in the morning. Everything was chill. Markets were up. And then you had the retail sales. They came in hot and the revisions were hot. This contributed to the bonds getting murked. And the bonds are already killed off of some of the relief. Remember, there was some of that fear bid on the bonds on Friday due to some of the war headlines. Well, by the morning, now we chilled off. Bonds were done. Then retail sales, that killed the bonds. And by the open, the bonds just started dumping, and we were right under 4.7 on the 10-year. But now, as the market held up and then we started dumping by open, it was just like middle of the morning, pretty early morning. Right away, as everybody was like, yeah, maybe we'll get de-escalation, Israel comes out and they start saying, well, we are going to have a swift attack on Iran. We're not going to let this go unanswered. And they said they are going to respond to the attack that just happened. And that, my friend, is more escalation. So just when some people thought it could be over, now that each side got their licks in, now we're about to get another round, and that is what you had to deal with today. And that is what caused all the movement. So now, leading into the first key, man, the crazy part about all of this, it was less about earnings today and more global tensions. But what I would tell you is as we move forward, because we have a very interesting calendar, I would be prepared to bounce between the two, aka like this morning, it's going to start off one element focusing on data and, oh, everything's good. But then by the middle of the day or end of the day, you might get an update. And even this morning, we woke up with good bank earnings. We were saying, let's wait for the first bank to do good. Well, Goldman came out. They talked positively on net interest income. Everything was good. You didn't actually have any bad signs. It's not like there was individual bad news to wake up with. Everything on the company earnings side was good, but then those tensions hit again and it started to reintroduce more escalation talks, and then you started to trade lower. So watch out, because day to day, as we get till Friday, you are going to balance and bounce between these two factors. So that is your first key. And now, leading into the second key, it's kind of related. One, the data is not going to be big tomorrow. There's building permits and housing starts, but it really shouldn't move us that nuts. The only thing where I'm saying watch out for, bonds are near 4.7 now after going through 4.5, and the market, it did kind of go with the bonds today. There was just a lot of pressure. So with the bond market being sensitive and all the things for the market, I would watch out for that. But now it kind of relates to what we're talking about with everything balancing between earnings and then going back here to the tensions, because here's the weird part about this week. The data's not big. Today's retail sales and Empire Manufacturing, that should have been the biggest data of the week. But even after this move we made today, 1.2 on the SPY, we are pricing in 1.5 move for this week. That's a lot. And to put it into context, that's exactly what we were pricing in last week, but we had the CPI and we were coming off of the non-farm. So very fascinating. All that being said, now that the range is opened up, bond volatility is waking up. I mean, currencies and a lot of things are going crazy. I think it has to do with the range in the market and now balancing between global tensions, the rates, and now what we're going to get with earnings. Your market and the market participants, we're expecting some bigger moves moving forward. So this week, although the calendar isn't active, that 1%, 1.5%, that should get your attention. So we'll see where that plays out. But now the final key, man, what you're seeing here, and we're going back and forth, and I don't know if you have seen the daily, and we have seen something similar, and that's what my final key is, but we have now given up about a month of gains. Even on the long term, I think the long term has given up a month of gains as well. You have now gone down, and really since April, it has been a rocky and bumpy path, but with everybody asking what's going to happen next, I mean, what we're doing right now, it's doing what it did last year during August and October, and it's moving very slow, but you're watching how the markets are responding when the yields start to go a little crazy, if not out of control. This is exactly what we dealt with, and even if you go and look at the 10-year bond and bring it up, go to October, or even like August through November, even on the SPY, you'll see this little setup here. We started going up last year till August. Then we started slipping. You'd get bounces here, and then by September, you'd sold off. And then this is where we bounced from when it was all said and done. But like literally just go look at these bounces and drops on the market and just go look at what happened with yields. This is something I've been showing you guys for a while, but it's just like literally what happens when you get 3-4 months in a row of yields going back up after people thought they would be lower. And then not to mention when you start breaking levels that you really haven't been at and start to get really, really tight. So now even today, and even if you go on the short term, man, the 1-day chart on bonds, I'm telling you, it was absolutely insane. It was huge, but when we start seeing this, man, just go look back. Like, you can't make this up. Literally last day of September leading into October when we were above here, go look at how the markets looked. It was the same sort of weird pullback, and the market gave back a little bit. So like literally end of September, this one was 475, and you even go here end of August, this one was just getting into 4.5. You did the same thing. Markets go down, it'll have its bounce back up, the yields come up, and then we just started doing that dance over and over and over again. So this is what people are worried about, and this is where it's only been 2 weeks, so I don't think this is confirmed just yet. It does not have to play out like that, but this borderline is the worry, is that if the yields start climbing up again and nothing really changes and we fall back to October, November settings and the rates go up, we may see the market play out a little different, but we'll find out if earnings or anything else in the meantime is going to bring that. But now, let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, hopefully you guys are getting the theme here. It is all about earnings. We are going to have to deal with these global tensions. I don't think the market's going to leave it alone, but I do think the market is going to bounce back and forth with all these earnings and everything going on, but you should expect some volatility. And now that being said, to start off with the first play, bro, LMT and RTX, I think it relates to the theme of this watch list and what we saw today, but these are the defense names, like defense like Pew Pew. But if you want to buy these on the red candles. They had the pop last week on some of the attacks, and then before they popped up, go look at LMT, go look at RTX. I'm telling you, before any rip, even if they get a little front run, they always sell off. So if you think these global tensions are going to continue, I would not be trying to buy RTX or LMT while it's running up, because those companies die once they stop moving. Just wait for the red candles, wait for the pullback. If we get that bouncing between tensions and earnings, I think it's going to allow the opportunity for even a defense name to go red, even in the middle of all of this, as the market balances back and forth between what it wants to focus on. So watch out for that. That is play number one. Then play number two. This one, you should know it. It got a lot of eyes today, baby. MPW. Now, the fallen angel of the long term, we still got it, but they had news on Friday that they sold off their Utah properties and another venture, and they pretty much collected $1.1 billion in capital. And after their other sales this year, it brings them up to $1.6 billion of assets sold. Their goal was $2 billion by the end of this year so that they could pay off their debt. They have like 30 or a little bit more than 30% of their debt. All of their total debt was due in the next couple of years. So by selling these properties, if they get out of it, they get to hold the rest of their bonds at 3% and hopefully be able to profit and get out of that nasty situation. So they got well received today. It was a big mover, even though bonds and real estate stocks didn't do good. I would keep my eye out for any upgrades and just watch the momentum. I still even have flip shares. Maybe I'll get lucky and they come back up. But the way I'm looking at it, if it can't hold $5 in the next couple of days or couple of weeks, I've seen this thing sell off on really good news, and I do think this news was good. But if it can't hold fives, I think the Bears are going to be in control until earnings. And then if it could hold above 6, I think it will become on squeeze watch because there's a lot shorted with it. And now, I mean, again, the last person similar SLG, I believe, they paid off or they sold off like 50% of their units, paid off their debt. I mean, you could go see how that stock ended up playing out, but MPW is a little sketchier, so we'll see how that plays. But that is play number 2, and then finally, play number 3, baby, Intel. I'm still clapped on it from last week, but just watch out after Wednesday or Thursday, TSM earnings. This thing is getting downgraded to oblivion. I'm surprised it even closed green today with everything else red, but they did sell off 5% on Friday. They got a double downgrade. I think 2 different banks cut their price target. They had another price target cut this morning, and I'm telling you, they guided lower, dropped 8%. They've had multiple downgrades, dropped another 5-6%. This thing is just getting killed ahead of earnings. It's like a reverse run-up, so maybe this turns into a positive, but I'm going to be watching this and literally watching this in sympathy to TSM, and that'll just be the only other play I'd watch here besides any of the other earnings. And now that leads into the plays. I only made a play on J&J for earnings. I grabbed the 157.5 calls for 20 cents, grabbed 2 of them, and then I grabbed a golden 450 call for a post-earnings continuation. Like I said, I was waiting for a bank to do good and mention NII. They did it, but then they ended up selling off, so we'll see how that all plays out. But besides that, I'm still in my gold short. I went positive on it this morning, and then it bounced back up, and now I'm back down like $3,900, I believe. So we'll see how that plays out. But like I said yesterday, I didn't sell it even for the profit today because I was like, man, I don't want to buy it yet, and I knew I was going to want to trade it again. So I said we'll stay in there, but ended up costing me today. Nothing has been realized, the net gain or loss though on it, except for the other transactions. But besides that, gonna ride that. I am keeping an eye on oil, but oil gives me gold vibes as well. I mean, I think it's high. If you position high for higher, there's that risk, but you could benefit off of it. But then also, too, doesn't necessarily have to come down. So it's a tricky one. But watching all these factors, going to be juggling global tensions and earnings. I hope you do the same. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure Hydrate Healthy ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. And I need you to remember, if you want something, you're going to chase after it. That's it. If you want it, you ain't going to listen to instructions. Oh, yeah, I'll do it later. No, you're going to surely, I will not leave you. You will chase it, baby. And if you don't want it, you're going to get mad about what you got to do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But, Chad, stay in the game. Drink that water. Hydrated, healthy, all the good stuff. I'll see you in the AM and on.